This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
Right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. It's Friday, April 26, 2024, our weekly business and marketing news of the week. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Chris Hansen. What's up, brother?
What's up, Ryan? How are you today, my man?
I couldn't be better, you know, in the VK Lounge down there in Miami, and I'm here in the studio. You know, we're adding accessorizing at all times, so studio's coming together. So hopefully you're watching. If you're not watching
nice.
the YouTube, you need to be.
Yeah, I agree fully. It's popping.
We got multiple camera angles. You know, we've got the
dude.
lighting effects, signage, sponsors. Yeah, it's just coming together. Feeling good about it.
I like it.
Yes. How's the week been, brother?
Trucking along, man. We're good. I'm headed out of town this weekend, so just trying to get everything in order.
Yeah. It's been good for me, too. Just normal stuff. You really need to be watching the video to really get the full effect here. We wanted to get Chris's surprise response.
Oh, wow.
This would be the #1 business podcast championship belt right here.
Wow.
No BS, all business. We're taking the BS out of business. And hey, when you're #1, you get to wear the belt right there.
I dig it.
That's real gold, Chris.
I was going to say, that's solid gold, isn't it? Right? Got a half kilo of gold on that
You see
belt.
the logo? Look at that. Right there.
I'm impressed. Now we just need to see you in a onesie or some of those latex leather shorts.
Hey, April 28th, I looked it up, is National Superhero Day. We're going to be having this right here. Look how legit that is. Oh, boy. Putting this on the table. April 28th is National Superhero Day. And, you know, wrestlers are kind of like superheroes. So it's kind of like the championship belt. There it is right there. I can get that lined up, baby. Getting this belt situated on the table so everybody can see it. All its glory. You like that?
You're blinged out.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Oh, yeah.
Looking like
Nothing like good
Garcia.
audio here as I'm adjusting the video for the belt. But it's sitting on the table, yes. #1 in business and marketing on Apple. Championship belts. That's what they should do, though. They need to have belts for this stuff, you know? That's how you get viral, you know? People passing the belts around. Oh, man, we dropped this quarter. Do it like quarterly or something, right? This baby's staying right here. #1. We appreciate it. But yeah, Superhero Day is on the 28th. So maybe I'll get my banana hammock out and just walk around with the belt around my waist.
Hey.
My wife might kill me, but
just top deck of the houseboat, banana hammock, rocking the belt, just showing your dominance on the lake going into summer.
it is Sunday. You know, it's like Sunday's the 28th. So I will probably be on the houseboat. So like, you know, just hanging out.
Drink in hand, just
Belt.
getting that upper thigh tan.
Yes, exactly. I need to get rid of those tan lines.
Picture it now. Just get some good photos for us when you do.
I will. I will say this. April 30th, we have to have it. This is how bad we've gotten. We have to have a day for it. April 30th is National Honesty Day.
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Fucking so much lying.
Really?
That we have to have
So much
in
lying
national.
going on. I mean, we all tell lies every now and then. I tell white lies to my wife. Then I regret it because she catches me in every one, even though, you know. So I've stopped doing that. I'm not lying anymore. Not even white
You
lies.
realize she just knows.
She just knows. It's stupid shit. It's dumb shit.
Yeah.
And so I hate lying anyway. You're like, as soon as you say it, you're like, it's not even lying. It's more like, it's like, did you drop these chips on the floor? I'm like, no, it's been the kids. And I'm like,
And she's like,
dumb.
it's literally hanging out of your mouth, Ryan.
Yeah. Did you have one more beer? No, I didn't have any more beers. Like 6 more.
Kids must have stole it. What are they doing?
Yeah, no, But I will, in all honesty, National Honesty Day, we shouldn't have to have a day for it, but we do. No. So on Tuesday, you better not tell any lies. This National Honesty Day. You know what you do for that. Send someone a card. You know, it's not a Hallmark moment. Happy National Honesty Day. Just be honest with me.
Maybe get honest about some shit from the past.
Yeah, maybe.
Clear some old karma.
Clear some cobwebs. Yeah. In more serious news, the mortgage demand continues to drop as interest rates soared over 7%. So refinancing applications are down 6%. Purchase applications down 1% to 2%. It's and look, okay.
Are we shocked?
No, I'm not shocked. But this is a problem because it impacts its housing. But I brought it up more to talk about the bigger problem, which is when houses aren't selling, when this stuff's happening, it impacts like everything else because it's the top of the funnel. Like the house, or however you want to think of it, I guess the bottom of the funnel is the biggest. So if you reverse it, the house is the largest purchase that gets made. It moves money around because you have money, you have excess maybe from selling because you've got some profits that were made, puts money in the market. It keeps money moving in the market. And it's sort of like one of those, barometers for everything else. And so you got everybody sitting on their house, not wanting to sell it because then they have to buy in this market, even if they make money. So we're in a bad cycle. Those interest rates need to come down.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides of this, but this is when I was doing most of my buying and selling, it just wasn't in this territory. It was like in that 3 to 5%. 5% was considered high. Yeah,
no, I've got a lot of friends in the business, and it's tough, bro. I mean, I did have lunch with a friend yesterday who actually is a realtor, and Florida's a little bit cushioned. I mean, you've still got these New York and California people that are willing to pay these rates, but I mean, dude, compared to 2-3 years ago, it's quiet. Very quiet.
Because, I mean, if you're going to have a payment, you're going to have a mortgage. I mean, this drastically reduces what you can afford, Yeah.
But your buying power is way down.
Way down. So, this is going to be a big part of the election, I'm sure. And I'm going to stay out of the politics of it, but we need it to come down. Let's just say that. Needs to come down. We need that
Simply
flowing. Simply put. This is interesting. This has a lot to do with like behavior, consumer behavior for how we do things. As you think about the power that Google has had with search for, just being dominant. You Google something. It's the term. Like when you're looking for information, you Google it. And AI is sort of challenging a lot of industries as a whole, but there's a company that just what's known as unicorn status because of the money, really about the money that it's raised along with its valuation. Perplexity AI becomes a unicorn. It's an American search startup co-founded by IIT Madras alumnus Aravind Suryanavas. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. Has recently achieved unicorn status after raising $63 million in a funding round, bringing its valuation to approximately $1 billion. So let me give you a couple names or let me just give you a name. Someone of the biggest investors in it, Jeff Bezos. And here's the difference. And this is it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, for changing consumer behavior. But it is interesting when you think about AI and these search engines, it's more about questions and answers versus search results. That might sound like a subtle change, but it is sort of like the way we've gotten used to it is Google is serving you up what they think you want based on the popularity of certain sites, key terms, and all of that. There's more that goes into it, but I'm simplifying here. Whereas Perplexity is sort of just giving you the answers. They're not necessarily pushing you to other sites.
Right.
Now, they may have links and they may have reference material, but it's more like that generative AI like ChatGPT. So
what I feel like Google mixed with ChatGPT, no?
Exactly. It kind of is. And I used it for a little while. It was a little clunky. I have the app on my phone. But I'm starting to sort of, and I think it was clunky because I was clunky, like with knowing how to get out of it what I wanted. But like I used it for like this week, looking up some of the business headlines of the week, and it was very helpful. And ironically, self-serving, this was like the top article. Good figure. And hey, so Perplexity, you need to start sponsoring right about now, and we'll make it the search provider of the #1 marketing and business show on Apple. That sounds like a good trade there. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a perfect fit.
We're going to get on that. Perplexity AI distinguishes itself in the competitive search engine market by offering a generative AI search platform that utilizes a chatbot-style interface. This allows users to pose questions in natural language, receiving intuitive and conversational answers, complete with verifiable citations and multimedia content for enhanced context. The innovative approach aims to disrupt traditional search methods dominated by companies like Google. Should just say dominated by Google. It's not multiple companies, it's a company. In addition,
when's the last time you went to Yahoo?
I was on Bing this morning, I was just binging. Oh, that could have taken off.
Just Bing it, bro.
Just Bing it. Oh, man.
I don't know. That's so funny.
It says, in addition to achieving unicorn status, Perplexity AI has launched an Enterprise Pro version. Of course it has. Designed to meet the security and privacy needs of business environments. It's $40 a month. It includes features such as enhanced data protection, team member management, and the ability to delete queries after 7 days. So you can't delete those queries.
That's important. Delete that search history, bro.
You got to get that search history going.
Hey, we do it for you automatically.
Yeah, we got to pay for it. There's no incognito mode here on Perplexity. You're going to have some perplexity going on where people start checking out your search.
Hey, we'll take this load off you guys. We know everyone wants it. We'll delete the search history automatically.
What's interesting, though, with this name, Perplexity, I mean, if I'm perplexed, it means I guess they're the solve of it. But like, is the platform confused or is the searcher confused?
I'm there with you.
I'm in a state of perplexity.
Just perplexity.
I just need answers. I don't need questions. I need answers, damn it.
They're probably like, oh, when you're perplexed, perplexity is the solution, Yeah. To me, it's an encyclopedia in a way.
I want to know how they're going to sell ads. I guess they'll be on the sides of the experience or on the top. One day, are we going to be able to pay to be at the top? Like, if it's an answer platform, that sure does mean, because when you give answers, it means you're saying that's what's the truth.
Well, that was my question. Where are you aggregating the information from that is providing me the answer to my question?
And who's getting the credit for that? That's sort of what this all raises a little bit, because all this knowledge from these things come from the internet, from the website. So if you and I write a killer report on something and it becomes the knowledge base for the answers, do we get credit for that? That's the question. These are the questions that need to be asked and answered, because that's where the rubber hits the road. And we can go, whoa, it's just about getting the answer. Well, yeah, it is. But how did you get there? Do the ends justify the means? Not always. And can we change consumer behavior? I think consumer behavior is getting closer, because you already have a working model with ChatGPT, people doing this. Now, I don't think every 50-year-old woman who's not, or man who's not in maybe like a, white collar position where they're needing like content answers like we do in our fields. But like,
I could see this in universities probably like gaining some traction.
Yeah.
Kind of like Facebook did it. Kind of colleges drove that. I could see this maybe being
get those kids doing it,
Yeah, man.
They want answers.
And they're at Thanksgiving telling their dad, yo, get on Perplexity.
Get on Perplexity. Perplexity. I'm perplexed. Yeah. We'll see. It's interesting. And I will say, I'm going to continue to use the platform, and I'd be even more likely to if they give me a call. So my people will get in touch with their people. We'll stop being perplexed. Perplexity. Unicorn status, $1 billion valuation. It always asks me, like, okay, if I just keep getting funding, does my valuation just keep going up? Is there, like, what's driving the valuation? The actual
the tech, or the tech, you just keep stacking
because
cash?
A lot of popular people are investing in it. I mean,
Jeff
I think it's got to be both. Alone. But
yeah,
the way they word it is like, they just raised $63 billion, which brings its valuation to $1 billion. I'm like, okay, is this like earning interest somewhere? And like, this is how, they're putting all the money in a, 20% interest bearing bond or something.
That borrowed leverage from Bezos. Like, what is his? Yeah. What's the leverage of his name worth?
Oh yeah, a lot. So we'll see. We'll keep talking. I'm going to bring up the Perplexity article of the week each week. There we go. This actually comes from us from Perplexity as well. See, I'm giving them credit instead of actually where their article came from. Okay.
Interesting.
This is another one of those. We're taking the BS out of business. And look, this is bullshit right here. GM cars tracking people without consent. No shit. We got all these cars with Wi-Fi and everything else. You don't think these things know where you're going? Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a realist. It's like, okay, they got all this data on there. We're just doing it. We're going to lower your insurance. Yeah. Okay.
Or AKA, we're going to raise your insurance.
Yeah.
Because you rolled through that stop sign or.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're a human
Tesla
being.
Does this. Did you know that Tesla's insurance is based on the car's
driving habits?
Yeah.
It's funny that, a company that gives you one of the fastest cars on the planet and then they're judging you for every, here it goes 0 to 60 in 1 second. But if you use it, your insurance is going up.
Yeah. Smart, bro.
General Motors has been implicated in several reports and investigations for tracking drivers' data without their explicit consent and sharing this information with third parties, including insurance companies. This practice has raised significant privacy concern and legal issues, leading to multiple lawsuits against the company, as it should. In summary, GM's alleged practice of tracking drivers without their consent and sharing this data with insurance companies has led to legal challenges and a significant public outcry. This situation underscores the growing privacy concerns in the automotive industry and the need for clearer consent mechanisms and stronger regulatory oversight. I don't know if I like the words regulatory oversight, but what I do think, though, is holding accountable for tracking people if they didn't consent to it or making it confusing in hell. This is what they do. They lump so many of these agreements into one another now. So you agree to one thing, you agree to 5 others. If you have time to read the 37 pages of legal fine print on everything you do, then you might catch this one clause that says, we may or may not track you without your consent. We may report it to the insurance company. The insurance company might raise your rates, and we might take away your license and tell you go to hell. I think it says that somewhere in the fine print.
Yeah. There was a documentary about that on Netflix about Google specifically, right? Where it was basically when you hit accept, right? Every time your software updates or agree to these terms. I think the documentary is called, I agree to these terms.
Yeah.
But it was more related to tech. But my question is, does anyone ever really get in trouble for this? Because it's happening across the tech platforms, the social media platforms, now the automobile industry.
They could make this with all the technology we're using. Like when you do checkouts or something where you do these consent forms, they could totally have some kind of genie or wizard that goes, here's the pertinent clauses that you need to be aware of. Pull them up. There's 800 pages, but pull up the things that we think you'd care about. They could pull those up and go, here's what you're signing to, and here's the 4 most important key points. But they bury it, 4 pages deep in 11 or 10 point copy. I worked in these industries. I know what they do. And it's not necessarily to intentionally be deceitful, but they're trying to move the product. They have these disclaimers they have to do. The government forces them and they reduce the copy. It's the name of the game. It's like disclaimers at the end of a radio ad. And 99%. Oh, what? What did I just sign up for? You know? Money back guarantee. What are you doing? $9.99 shipping.
Exactly.
The micro machines talk at the end. It's like, and look, I'm in marketing. I don't want disclaimers on every single thing, but I want to be clear on what the, context is. So there's a way to make it better. And GM shouldn't be tracking people without people knowing it.
No.
I mean, it's called, it's like our First Amendment rights here, or just rights as Americans, not to be tracked at all times. But we know that's what's going on. So just be aware, folks. We're not pointing any firm fingers. It's not really at one entity. We're just going to raise the questions. We're going to take the BS out and let you be the judge of how you want to handle it. Talent agency. This is kind of freaky, man. I know this is coming. I was just talking to a friend that's kind of in this industry. Talent agency, CAA, Creative Arts Agency. That's what CAA stands for. Tests AI clones of artists. Creative Arts Agency is actively exploring the use of artificial intelligence to create digital doubles of artists, a move that reflects broader trends in the entertainment industry regarding the integration of AI technologies. CAA, a leading entertainment and sports agency, has developed a facility known as the CAA Vault, which utilizes AI technology to create digital doubles of their clients. This initiative allows artists to have ownership and control over their digital likenesses, addressing issues related to copyright and authorized use of their images. Basically, they capture detailed scans of an actor's body, face, movements, and voice, and these scans are then used to create high-fidelity digital replicas that can be used in various media productions, potentially even acting in place of the actual actors. It's crazy. Coming, man. Why, if Tom Cruise could just not have to actually do any of it, his digital double does it, and he has rights of it, why would he do it? I mean, you could argue some would still, I think we're going to move to this place, Chris. I'm just going to jump to the punchline for me. We're going to get to this place where people are going to go, I want real. I want to watch real, know it's real. And there's going to be a stand for real versus, even if it starts to
AI.
Look, versus AI. You're going to have I don't know.
Fiction and nonfiction almost.
Yeah. And the technology not only offers new creative possibilities, but also raises significant ethical and legal questions, you think? Particularly concerning the rights to these digital personas and the implications for actors' careers and musicians' careers and every person that does a on-screen talent. Cody Gus, man, this could be the AI versions of you and I right here. We know that wouldn't be as fun.
People immortal. You can make movies forever with the same
actors.
The same A-list celebrities.
You'll never have to go, well, there'll never be another Tom Cruise. Well, you're right. There won't need to be because he's always around. It raises the question of, will we stop trying to take these characteristics on? Will someone stop trying to be an actor because we have in the can 300 of the best already, right, combined with AI originated actors, maybe?
Exactly. Where they can probably be like, hey, AI, create a Brad Pitt, George Clooney type dude combined.
Yeah.
With their talents combined. Yeah.
It really could get your mind down a rabbit hole quickly.
Yeah. I don't like it.
And I think you're going to see the blowback be okay, people are going to want to know when they're seeing real versus fake. You got the implications of the actors. There's technology going on where this stuff could be used even to maybe have conversations with fans. That's really your AI.
Yeah.
You think about the implications. oh, you want to do a Q&A with Tom Cruise? I keep using Tom Cruise because everybody knows who Tom Cruise is. So, but, LeBron James, whatever. And so it takes the workload. I will say it's interesting. On one, I don't like it, but on one hand, we've always had what you can't scale yourself. Well,
right.
Then maybe you can. If it's truly, your digital double and it knows how you would react. I mean, I'll tell you this much. No AI could do some of the stupid shit I do this every day. So it can't be me.
You're too unpredictable.
Yeah, too unpredictable. I'm going to trip over this thing, walking out of the room. I'm going to say something to my wife I shouldn't have. No, I keep saying that. I'm a great husband. But in general, we're human beings versus robots. It's just it's a fine line.
I just think the entertainment and the music industry, from what I know of it already and how kind of cutthroat it is. Prime example, Taylor Swift buying, her masters getting sold was the big thing. So if I die and I'm a famous actor and then the studio ends up with my rights as opposed to my family, and you already know the studio is going to fight for them and screw your family.
Yep.
Then what if they start making movies and films of stuff that me, when I was a person, I completely disagreed with?
Yeah.
They start using me to push an agenda. That's where I start thinking, because you hear artists all the time, I lost my creative freedom, I was signed to a label or whatever it might be. So it'd be if we were to do this, I would just want to be very, very sure that you own everything.
Yes.
And your image and likeness can't be used after your death for God knows what.
Yep. I will say this, but if you are listening to this and you're a company or a person, solopreneur, and you're thinking about starting your own podcast, original creative content, branded content, no AI, go to the radcastnetwork.com. We got a free audit there if you got an existing show, or if you're thinking about starting a new one. Look, just saw the newest data. Said branded businesses with branded content shows have an 86% lift on awareness and likability. There's a huge brand study now. Shoot me a DM if you're interested, or go to the radcastnetwork.com, fill out that form. We're growing out our network. Look, if you aren't making money, if you aren't monetizing your show, it's called a hobby. It's called arts and crafts, as my good friend Chris Lockhead would say. This is about business, about making money, about generating outcomes, and adding value to your audience. So if you're interested in that, go to the radcastnetwork.com. Fill out that free audit. If you got a show, we'll do an audit of your show. We'll get you info. That'll be valuable enough. That's free. Or shoot me a DM on Instagram. We'd love to help you. Keeping it real. Taking the BS. No AI here, baby. We'll use AI to help us, but we don't need it to duplicate. You can't duplicate this. That AI machine would go crazy. I can't wear this gold belt right here.
No.
Oh, next up. Netflix subscribers climb on those two words catching me. Netflix subscribers climb after password sharing crackdown. They've Netflix added 9.33 million new members during Q1. Yeah, they gotcha. Hey, no more sharing now.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
They caught us.
Dad can't use my password anymore. I think my dad might have been using some of my passwords. I don't think they worked for him anymore. 7.5 million more than the same time last year. Those new memberships. With the take up of its ad-funded membership up 65% compared to last quarter. This takes its total subscriber base to just shy of 270 million. Revenue was up 15%. And net income increased 79% compared to the same quarter in 2023. Netflix chief financial officer said the company is building a much more durable and healthy foundation for revenue growth. And bringing those to movie theaters that we talked about a couple weeks ago. I mean, this isn't surprising. And look, I mean, makes sense. Can't be sharing your passwords on everything. As long as, I will say this, if you have it could be a little confusing. Like if you have multiple houses or like in my houseboat, I'll be watching something. I'll sometimes get the, oh, you aren't at your home base. I'm like, no, I'm not. But these are supposed to be mobile apps, right? So it can't be geo focused. So they gotta register those device codes to know that it's yours, you know. And that, you know, there were some people that, I mean, they were probably like friends that had like 50 friends like on the same account or something. That's totally abusing.
I'm surprised it took this long, honestly, because it looked, I mean, dude, the fact they did this and their revenue income, when net income went up 80%.
Yeah.
Easy money for them. Just a little software change, boom.
Yeah, and they increased prices a little bit, so that always helps.
Well, and what we always talk about, people are just moving away from cable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many implications here, like cord cutting, everything else, time shifting. They want to watch what they want when they want, necessarily what's coming on at 10 a.m., you know, and they don't necessarily want to DVR it either. You know, oh, let me record it. You don't really hear anybody saying that anymore, other than maybe like live sports, but because you just want it available. When I want to watch the newest Dateline show, whatever, I just want it in the library, not on my DVR that's, you know, filling up. You've lost too much space. No, it's called the cloud, baby. You know, we have so much data on the internet. How much total data is this? How much does that weigh? What's the weight of all the data? Because it's in a server somewhere, right? At some point, the cloud is in a physical place. So
wild.
I don't know how much. We should get a specialist on here to tell us how much the data we all, like the total amount of data like in the cloud.
Many terabytes or something.
How much that weighs, like physically. Because I think we get so kind of numb to this stuff. We don't even think about like some of those implications, how much energy it takes.
How much energy is it using? Electricity. Yeah,
exactly. Meta is opening up Quest headset operating system to rivals. I brought this up because I think there's been lag in this sort of growing, and I think this is the right move. Facebook parent Meta Platforms is opening up its Meta Quest headset operating system to other hardware makers, part of an effort to boost its standing in the nascent augmented reality and virtual reality industries. The move means other technology companies will be able to build their own headsets using Meta's operating system. Meta announced a few select early partners, including Microsoft and Lenovo. It's long aspired for Meta to build its own devices operating system to decrease the company's reliance on competitors. When it comes to mobile apps like Facebook and Instagram, Meta is beholden to mobile OS creators such as Apple and Alphabet. Meta has taken particular issue with Apple in recent years, complaining with the iPhone maker's decision around privacy and in-app fees for iOS applications, which have hurt Meta's business. Zuckerberg is aiming to avoid that situation in the next wave of devices, including AR and VR headsets. So getting their applications, which they have. And look, the only way that this is going to take off is that has more players in the game. It's kind of like the smartphone situation. Like, and I worked through that where you had multiple players or different, you know, but they're running the same operating system. Like Android, you know, got on Motorola, got on Samsung, got on all these, you know, ones to give you kind of choice and selection and to kind of grow the category as a whole. And I think this could have the same effect because maybe Facebook's great at software development, but not so great at hardware. So put their software with one of these better hardware providers and maybe you get a better experience and you don't get dizzy and all that shit. Who knows? But I think the only way for this to take off is get it more proliferated and a better overall user experience. So that's what this is attempting to do as we get further into AR and VR, AI, VR, AR, all this realities, man. It's like IRL.
It's weird.
DOWN.
Yeah, man.
It's like
there used to be one reality, and now we're
all the movies are coming true. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, bro.
Terminator, The Matrix, and I don't know. Insert 1984, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the smart writers that, you know, we thought were just making science fiction up, science nonfiction, but this is. I would like to see the application of this in business get better. And look, it's all about evolution and change and things like that. So I support all that. It's just a slippery slope of the privacy and the combined with, I don't know, humanity of it all. I think that's the brush we need to be thinking through. Finally, Kentucky governor announces lottery to award initial round of medical cannabis business licenses. Kentucky will use a lottery system to award an initial round of licenses competing to participate in the state's startup medical cannabis program. The governor called it a fair way to give each applicant that clears the screening process an opportunity to land a license for the program, which launches statewide at the start of 2025. I mean, I brought this up because it's just the proliferation of cannabis and sales in general. Kentucky's sort of, I think of kind of Kentucky in a similar light to like South Carolina. I mean, it's a southern-esque state. They're more middle of the U.S., but like, definitely eastern, south. And so you're going to see more and more medical, more and more like legalities around this. I don't think as the population ages and we get people, with clearer minds that know how much this could be taxed and the benefits it could have if regulated the right way. But it's interesting that they hold these lotteries. It's like, because they know how much it's going to sell.
I mean, good for them, dude. Kentucky, they really led the charge on a lot of the hemp growing.
Yeah,
they've been a good state for that, but not a lot of states have done it fairly. That's for sure. Even here in Florida, I mean, it's so corrupt.
Yeah,
I'd like to think this sounds better and like a step in the right direction. So I hope so, man. There's a lot of people that, do good business that aren't these huge, big companies that are just buying their way into these states.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to follow how this opens up across it. And again, it's going to have big business implications because of the scale and scope of it all. I mean, just think about it. No matter how you feel about it politically or morally, whatever your stance is, the impact of business, like, just be like the equivalent of alcohol sales, like a prohibition of alcohol. Like, I mean, this is big business and big news. And so Kentucky turning on medical, you're going to see other states doing the same. And then, I mean, it's already legal, like in half the states for I think even non-medical use. Like in some, like it may not being sold yet, but some legislation moving that direction quickly. So we'll see. And then I said that was final, but last thing, the House has essentially passed the TikTok ban, and it's kind of sitting there. That's still kind of floating out there if ByteDance doesn't sell. So I bring this up if you're out there and it's not to fear monger, but it still feels like they're coming for it. It feels like it's going to go down temporarily until they settle this thing or sell or whatever they force the hand of ByteDance to do. So just beware if you have if your business or you're thinking about growing on TikTok, not that you shouldn't continue to use the platform, but I do think this is not settled yet and could have implications. So, and if you're following and you're just a dancer, get your dance on TikTok, baby, because you don't know. You don't know when that organic or that viral dance might not be available. You have to go back to Facebook.
And the dance videos just don't hit the same on Facebook. So.
No, not unless you're the dancing dentist. Like my old client, Rich Constantine. We blew up the internet on Facebook. Believe it or not, 50 million impressions. Shit. People, man.
Pre-TikTok?
Yeah. Pre-TikTok. Well, TikTok was sort of like getting off the ground as like the music video platform or whatever it was. It may not have been called TikTok. I can't remember. This is 7 years ago. But, people like to be entertained, man. That's the story here. Entertain or educate with your social media content. And Rich was entertaining. He could dance like a mofo. He's good. Kiki, do you love me? Oh, yeah. Please, don't make me sing. Don't make me sing. That's all we got today, my friend. Any final thoughts, Chris?
Stay safe out there, y'all.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weekend.
For sure. Give us a shout out. You can find us at ryanisright.com. Chris, it's Chris Broby Hansen. That's Broby, B-R-O-B-Y. Broby Hansen. And he is handsome. Handsome Hansen. He is. You know where I'm at Ryan Alford. We'll see you next time on Right About Now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit ryanisright.com for full audio and video versions of the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.